okay, this really is war. And I don't mean wings and ruins. I mean, I haven't even fucking started chapter 1 yet. No, got a little fucking flashback? Oh, let's just put Rhysand on the battlefield. Fucking almost beat down, fucking injured, fighting for his fucking life. Dad hasn't sent reinforcement, doesn't know where Cassian is, doesn't know where Azrael's at, doesn't even know if they're alive. Fighting for the fucking humans, fighting for the free people, doing all they can against some Ravina or some shit. I don't even remember that name. I'm so fucking distraught right now. Because he finally gets the help his dad sends him, and he sees a bunch of siphons. Oh, maybe it's fucking Kaz or Az. So he's checking dead bodies, and it's miles and miles of dead bodies. Oh, yeah. Just toying on that emotion of how the last book ended with Cassian's fucking wings shredded, Az fucking hole in his chest, right? I swear. Listen, I wanted to read this series because I thought it was some fairy smut, and my wife was really into it. I'm like, let me see what this fairy smut is. No, this isn't about fairy smut. Y'all are just tap dancing on my fucking emotions, and I don't like it. What the fuck? No, this is chapter 1 coming up. A lion and a spine. Let's discuss the first 11 chapters. Why do you say 11 chapters? Because fuck this book for making me want to read that much. Yes, that's right, folks. Somehow I got so into this book, I read 11 chapters. I will try to keep it all into one video. If I miss something, leave it down in the comments. I will gladly make another video to discuss because I want to know all the details that I might have missed or don't know without spoilers. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Feyre's back at the Night Court. She is a lion and she is aspiring, trying to figure out what she can for this impending war. As she's there, Lucien is in a frenzy because, you know, his mate's gone and he's questioning everything that he saw on the island with the King of Hybern, right? And what Feyre did and all that shit. So he's just questioning everything. Tamlin is trying to do better. Ianthe is fucking that little bitch Ianthe, doing her plans. And then they end up having guests where Urian and the evil twins, Dagden and Brianna, show up, and they're there on advance party. So that's where we're going to start out with. So Urian and his little advance party show up, and they're there to look at the wall. Feyre's like, I'll take him. Tamlin's like, no. She's like, what the fuck? And he's like, that's right, you're right. Lucien, go protect with some sentries. So they go and figure out what's up with the wall, have a discussion about it, come back for dinner. This is where Ianthe makes her grand dog and pony show, spectacular I'm a whore entrance, and is like, I am a whore, I'm here. Anyway, I digress. And starts putting out this information about how the Naga have started attacking the land, and then a report comes out that one of the sentries' keys are missing. That sounds suspicious. I digress. Next day they go out and they check the other hole in the wall, and they're out there, and this is where Feyre starts doing some stuff. She's like leaning on Lucien, touching on him a certain way, yada yada yada. And they go back for a few days getting ready for the solstice. Now, if you remember, the solstice is where Tamlin and Feyre first kind of started having their reactions. They first kissed and danced and had a good time, right? So Feyre goes and they're dancing, gets drunk, but when Tamlin's like, ooh, maybe it's time to go, she's like, I'm tired, I got to go. So she bounces and leaves, and she's going to go to her room, except, well, her room is not her room anymore because Tamlin destroyed it and hasn't fixed it. So they moved her down the hall across the hall from Lucien. So she puts on a little skimpy outfit and she goes to sleep. On the first part of these chapters, we find out that she's got her powers. She's talking to Rhysand through a bond on the other hand, but they only do it every once in a while. But it's very faint, very weak. But she has snares up, so she can detect when people are coming. So she hears Lucien, so she has a bad dream. So she has a bad dream. Lucien comes over, so she's talking with Lucien, and then all of a sudden one of her snares goes off. And she knows it's Tamlin. So then she gets all close and cuddly with Lucien, lets Tamlin see this, pisses fucking Tamlin off. He's like, fucking go over there, right? Blah, 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 blah. So that happens. And then that goes on. And then also during the solstice, Ianthe wanted to put on this big, like, spectacular dog and pony show, right? Where she stands, the twins, and Urian on the line, and she's supposed to raise her hand, and the sun's going to come up and shine on, but Feyre's like, and she uses her powers and kind of change it. And again, Lucien sees that and he's like, what the fuck? I've seen that before, but I'm not quite sure. So everybody's just whatever. So that happens. And then all of a sudden, Some Naga attacked that night. How did Naga get onto the manor? Well, a sentry fell asleep apparently and, lost his keys. So as this happening, Tamlin has fucking got this guy up, and Feyre's like, wait a second. So she frees his mind, and he's like, no, she took my keys, pointing to Anthony, and, the high priestess is like, what are you talking about? So this is the first, real type test, right? Who is Tamlin going to pick? Well, all his sentries see that, and Feyre's like, let's talk, let's at least hear him out. Nope, doesn't hear him out, ends up doing the whip, and Ianthe's like, let's go inside. Feyre goes with the sentries, and everybody sees this, helps tend to his wounds, so now all the people are like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Everybody's starting, she's putting the divide in everybody, right? Go to sleep that night, and they're getting ready to go look at the wall. For the third day, this time everybody's going. Tamlin, Ianthe, Uriam, the twins, and Feyre, Lucian, and they're out there, and they go to sleep one night, and then Feyre's like, ooh, I should just kill Ianthe, but doesn't. Ooh, but before they left, Alice is like, listen, girl, I'm out of here. She knows what's going on. I can't deal with it no more. I'm going back to the summer court. And she's like, ooh, listen, don't say you know me because I got that whole blood ruby. And she said, hey, look, blood ruby or not, you got a friend in the summer court. Like, Alice is the real one. Alice is the first person outside of the inner circle, which is Rhys, Feyre, Cass, Az, Mor, and Amren. So those are the top 6 people. You can put them in any order of what they're doing for my top 6. And then fucking Alice right there at number 7. Everybody else is fucking down here, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Alice, you're the real MVP. Anyway, so they're leaving out there, and they go out there, and then shit's happening. They're looking at the wall, and then Feyre's like, all right, boom, it's time for me to bounce out of here. And as she's going to leave, she sees fucking Ianthe fucking got Lucian all trapped up. All right? Now, Ianthe, apparently, she thinks she's got this magical power because Tamlin was so fucked up when Calamai came around this time around that he couldn't do it, so Lucian had to step in. So as Lucian stepped in, he ends up fucking doing the deed with Ianthe. So Ianthe's like, ooh, I'm just a high priestess. I do what I want. Well, this is where me and Feyre, we are not seeing eye to eye. If it would have been me, I would have just winnowed, slashed Ianthe's fucking throat and fucking bounced out of there. But no. Feyre got her own thing, so she goes up, takes her mind, makes her put her hand on a rock, and like smashes the fuck out of her hands, right? She's like, you will never touch anybody else without consent. Yes, that's right. You shouldn't touch people without consent. Remember, consent is good. All right, I digress. So, back to it. So she sits there and does that. Well, while that happens, the evil fucking twins come up. Now, these evil twins are pretty badass. We found out on the first day they were at dinner, like, they tried to get into Feyre's mind, but she was all like, back up, bitch. And they were like, oh, shit, what the fuck? So they're trying to surround her, and they tell her that they've been putting the blue crystal or the blue stone that, like, reduces the magic. They've been putting that in the food. That's why her powers have been getting weaker and weaker, and she's been getting headaches. So she's like, fuck. So, like, Lucian's somewhat free, Ianthe's kind of free, and then she starts fucking fighting the brother, right, Dagnan. Now, she's fighting Dagnan, she really can't do much, and she's like, this dude's fucking good. Well, I mean, shit, he's the nephew of a the king and all, so he's fighting. All of a sudden, she gets this idea and is like, fireball, and, like, fucking hurts the sister, right? Well, that pisses Dagnan off and gives an opening. Well, Lucian sees that and is like, he fucking cuts her fucking head off, right? Fucking Brana didn't see that one coming. Good job, Lucian. You moved a little bit up the list, at least. So that pisses Dagnan off. So he's coming to go in, and then fucking this is where Feyre's like badass. Like, she takes her 2 fucking like Illyrian knives, right, and she fucking winnows in there and like fucking dodges like one knife out of the way, and then puts the other fucking knife in his eye, right, and he fucking drops like a sack of potatoes. And she's like, all right, dude, whatever the fuck you got to do, but I'm out of here. And Lucian's like, nah, take me with you. And she's like, Rrr. So she contemplates, and she's like, don't make me fucking regret this. So they end up fucking bouncing out. And as they're fucking leaving, you hear this big old fucking roar, and that's Tamlin bellowing out because he realizes what has happened. So they're doing the journey. They're trying to figure out how to get to the night court, and she's calling it home, and Lucian's like, wait a second. Yeah, I knew it. That big, white, bright, flashy thing that you did? Yeah, people, whoever can do that over here. I've seen that before. Oh, like, whatever. He's like, oh, shit. Fuck it. I just want to see my mate. So they now have to travel through the Autumn Court, which his dad and family hates him. So he's got no help there. Like, they even said the town people would turn him in for money, so they're gonna go through the autumn court, they get through his dad's lands, they're going through up, they're sleeping in this nice little cave, and they're getting fucking warm, finally get a decent night's sleep, slowly getting their powers back, almost there, and they get woken up, captured, or just, it just says, and there they are, the brothers. So it's Lucian's brothers, who we know, they don't fucking like him, so it's gonna get interesting. Feyre's battle to get home, and Lucian's. Here's another 5-minute review. We're not going by chapters anymore because this book is cracked and I just read too much of it. So, with that being said, Feyre and Lucian, they're trying to get home. They slept in a cave. They got woken up by Eris, which is Lucian's brother, and his 2 brothers, and they're about to fuck him up. Feyre's like, nah, fuck that shit. Pulls the fucking cave down on top of them, and they escape. While they're escaping, Lucian's like, hey, so tell me about Elaine. So he's kind of giving her voices about, or she's telling him about Elaine, what she likes, gardening, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, oh, okay, he's trying to learn, trying to understand. I give him props for that. They get into the winter court, and all of a sudden, who's fucking standing on the other side of a frozen lake? It's fucking Eris and his 2 damn brothers. And he does this whole, fireball, flamethrower, trying to melt the fucking ice, and Feyre's like, fuck, so they turn around and run. She's using her fucking winter ice powers to try to fucking refreeze the ice, and Lucian's like, fucking crisscross applesauce zigzag. So they go zigzag, and arrows are going by him. They look back, and all of a sudden fucking Eris is fucking right in front of them. Eris kind of lays a hand on her, and all of a sudden that just insert fucking whatever badass song you want. The song that came into my head was fucking Immigrant Song. And I just saw fucking Kaz. Yes, Kaz has recovered. Azriel has fucking recovered. And their blue and red siphons of 7 apiece fucking flying down and just beating their shit out of these fucking people. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So right before they kill him, Feyre's like, all right, stop. I am the High Lady of the Night Court, and I say let them live. And they're like, what? And she's like, yeah, bitch, I outrank my friends. And they're like, yes, my lady. And they're like, you can't be a High Lady. Eris says that, and they're like, bitch, shut the fuck up. She is our High Lady. Pretty awesome. So then they fucking tell them to shoo off, and it's like, all right, time to go home. And she's like, well, which house are we going to? And they're like, oh, the town home. And she's like, wait, what? But we got Lucian. And I'm like, So they end up fucking winnowing in. So they winnowed into Valaris, right? Inside the townhome. And Lucian's fucking there looking around. Everybody's kind of sitting down. And Lucian is just like, what the fuck? Wait, where are we? I hear children laughing. And she's like, this is my home. This is Valaris. And he's like, wait, what? And she's like, this is Valaris, the city of starlight. And he goes, okay, and your lady... You are the High Lady of the Night Court? Just asking questions. Literally, Lucian is in a spot right now where if he says the wrong thing, they will just... Okay? He's and just done. Nobody's going to even think twice about it. And, and they're like, yeah, and even Amryn comes in, and Feyre introduces her this is Lucian Van Sarah. And he's like, yeah, I really don't use my name, right? And he's like, I don't use my last name. So he's really cut his family off. Respect to you, Lucian. Another point back up on the top 10 list. Anyway, I digress. So, again, they're sitting there talking, and he's just asking questions okay, this is Valaris. I've always been, under the assumption, and yada, yada, yada. And they're like, yeah. And then again, he says, and you are the High Lady of the Night Court. He is in shock. And this is where all of a sudden you hear, indeed she is. And fucking everybody smiles, and Rhysand's in the back, just sitting there under an archway, right on the threshold. And Lucian's like, and Roger. Okay, nothing big. And they're sitting there, quick conversation, and then Rhysand's like, y'all gots to go. He picks up freaking Feyre. They go upstairs. They have a quick conversation. He's like, I missed you. I loved you. Do you want to talk about anything? You will never be gone from me like that again. That shit ain't happening. I couldn't feel you. I was fucking scared. Oh, it was crazy. Big session. Whereas Tamlin was like, let's fuck. Fucking douche. Do they end up having sex? Absolutely they do. But after he makes sure she's okay, after he gives her a bath, after they have some talking and conversation and tell each other how much they care, then they go into the physical contact. And then after that's done, Rhys sends a message back to everybody else. They come back. A discussion with Lucian and the Sisters Reborn. Today on ACOWAR for Dummies, chapter 15. Let's get into it. Okay, so Feyre and Rhys, they are coming downstairs after Feyre's return and a quick debrief, we'll call it. So we find out she's now wearing her ring. Rhys has bought himself a ring. He has let everybody know it's okay to come back into the townhouse. So as they're walking downstairs, hand in hand, Cassian and Az are sitting at the table, kind of hunched over, and you can tell Cass is about to make a joke like, hey, how was that? Was that a good time? And Az is like, you mother... kind of kicks him under the table. He's like, what? I didn't say nothing. But everybody knew it was coming. So you can kind of see that there's just... they do what they want here. So that's the first thing Lucien notices. So as he comes down, Lucien stands up, and Rhys is like, okay, brother, we're going to have this little come to Odin meeting, okay? We're going to have this conversation, come to the cauldron, I guess you could call it. And he's like, listen, I'm pretty sure my people have told you, if you do anything to harm anyone or anybody, I will kill you in ways that you didn't even know existed. And he's like, fair. And then he goes into this, listen, I loved Feyre way longer before she even knew anything. This is where he makes the remark, well, and it's lucky you got her in the end. And this is where he goes, okay, motherfucker, let me explain this to you. And this is where I had the respect for Rhys, because he lays it out. He's like, listen, I knew I loved her before she even knew I existed. I knew that she was with Tamlin. I had the bond, and I was willing to let her marry. He's like, oh, they were going to get married, and you left. And she's like, well, I was about to call off the wedding. He's like, listen, I stayed away until she asked me to come. And he's like, oh, shit. And then he goes into this, and I brought her back, and I was willing to let her go through it until that son of a bitch, that douche canoe tampon, fucking locked her up and destroyed his study. And this is where Lucien's like, you know what? Fair enough. I understand. I get it. Rhys reminds him, he's like, listen, now maybe you're in the kind of the similar predicament because, you know, your mate. And Lucien's like, okay, fair. So they understand eye to eye. So now we fly up to the House of Wind, which I think is hilarious because every time somebody has to carry Lucien, they're not happy. It's hilarious, that interaction. So they land at the House of Wind, and Feyre's like, all right. So they sit there, and she has another conversation with Lucien, and he's starting to understand. He's like, listen, I wouldn't have understood this and believed it unless I saw it. So reality is sinking in. He's like, man, everything is I was told is wrong. And he's like, I didn't realize I was the evil person in your narrative. And she's like, listen, you're not evil. It's okay. So he's trying to look at everything from a new perspective. Again, Lucien, this is why you are still in the freaking top 10, buddy, because you're using your brain. I respect it. So I digress. So anyway, so she goes inside and she sees Nesta. And let me tell you, Nesta is a beast. Nesta is sitting there reading the book. Feyre walks in and she's like, hey, I'm here. And she's like, well, are we done? Did you fucking finish it? Are we done? And no, then I'm going to go back to my fucking book. Like, she cannot be bothered. The only thing she cares about is Elaine. So Elaine has locked her basically self in this room. She hasn't come out. So Feyre's like, all right, let me go check it out. Feyre goes up in the room, and Elaine is just sitting there. She's got the curtains all open, trying to soak in as much sun, just staring out in the middle of nowhere. And Feyre's like, Elaine, I'm back. And Elaine's like, I was supposed to get married next week. And Feyre's like, oh, fuck, God, yeah, I didn't think, oh, shit, what's happening? So she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And she's like, everybody keeps saying I'm sorry, blah, 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 but it doesn't fix it. And I want to go home. She's like, well, I'm sorry, we can't. So she's like, all right. So Rhys comes in and is like, is there anything we can get you? I want to go home. And then the chapter ends explaining how Elaine used to be the star, right? No matter what, she was gardening, she was happy, she was whistling, she tried to be the ray of light. She was that ray of light for everybody. And now she's just a dark void, a hollow, empty shell. And Lucien's first dinner with the inner circle, Feyre goes back to training. Chapter 16 to 20-ish. Let's get into it. Okay. So, they basically tell Lucien the rules. Don't do anything. Don't come up here. Stay away from his sisters. Bet. They leave, they go to Amren's house, they're all talking about plans, they're filling everybody in on what Feyre learned, or discussing, okay, we got to do this, come up with the idea that they need to send out invitations to all the High Lords of Prythian and come together and say, this is what's up. And Lucien hears, and they're like, okay, yeah, cool. So they make these decisions, and then they go back to eat dinner. So now we're up in the House of Winds. They're having dinner, everybody's there, Nesta, Lucien, and the inner circle, right? So they're talking, and they're like, listen, we're going to send out the invites, and everybody's just kind of talking over each other. And this is where Lucien's just like, he's like, what the fuck is happening? And Feyre leans over to him and says, yeah, we don't really do the whole cordial rank thing. You know, you say what you feel. As long as you're being honest, nobody's really going to fuck with you, right? And he's like, okay. So then he's like, hey, do you mind if I give you some unsolicited advice? And Rhys is like, I don't think anybody's ever said that shit at this table with this group of people, but sure, solicit away. So he's like, you know, talking about, hey, if you take Feyre there, you're going to talk about the powers. And they're like, we haven't discussed that. He's like, well, listen, my dad is a dick. And if he finds out that she got powers, he's probably going to side with, you know, Hybern and take him away. And they're like, okay, well, you know, and Feyre was like, well, they already saw the power, so they understand that. And they end up saying, hey, Cassian's like, hey, we need to get back to training. He offers to train Feyre. Feyre's like, bet, we'll start up tomorrow at 8 o'clock. He's like, 7. She's like, 7:30. He's like, maybe 8, whatever. So they're bickering back and forth. And again, they offer Nesta to train. Nesta's like, I ain't training with you. Finally, Amren's like, you're going to train with me. And Nesta's like, all right, cool. And then Feyre comes out of the middle of nowhere and is like, I want to fly. And Emperor's like, what? Like, I should be able to do it. And like, wait, how would you fly? You ain't got wings. Well, Taylor can shapeshift. And Lucien's like, what? No. What? So he's kind of freaking out. It's pretty cool. And like, all right, cool. So they end dinner. They go down for the night. Feyre wakes up the next morning. She starts training with Cassian, right? So doing the training, back to the basics. Boom, 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 boom. Nesta shows up, and then all fucking... All of a sudden, Cassian and Nesta start bickering, so Feyre sends down the bond. She's like, fucking, Rhys, where are you? Help me, Rhys. And Rhys is like, look, I'm doing something, but here, I'm sending Az. So Az comes over, is like, come on, Feyre, it's time to go train. Right about that time is when, I think, Amren shows up to start training Nesta. So then, excuse me, Az and Feyre go off. And they go off in the woods, and Az starts training, you know, Feyre. So they're like, all right, let's get your wings. So she starts trying, and she's like, trying to get the wings. And as they're coming out, he's like, a little bit more on the top, a little bit less on the bottom, a little bit here, strengthen here, change here. And then she gets done, and he's like, oh my God, these are glorious. She's like, they look just like fucking mine. And she's like, well, it was all you. So then she gets wings, and then she realizes these fuckers are heavy. Like, all her muscles from her neck all the way down to her gluteus maximuses are fucking pulling. And she's like, woof, and like, I keep them off the ground. So that's training day. Whew. Could you imagine having wings? Like, no shit. I wouldn't drive a truck if I had wings. I'm just saying. Wings. I want wings now. Books, death gods, and a plan so crazy it just might. Chapter 21. What's up, everybody? I am Wise. Okay. So this is where we find out sadistic killers apparently keep libraries that are also sanctuaries for traumatized priestesses. Yes, that's right. The sadistic killing night court runs a library / sanctuary for traumatized priestess. I don't even know what to say at this point. The mask they put on for everybody is so fucking good. Like, for real. It's so good. Anyway, I digress. So we get to the library, we meet Clothy. She is a traumatic, drama, whatever priest. Like, her hands are fucked up, no tongue, she can't write, she just nods. But again, they control who comes in and out of this fucking library. It is their home. It's pretty fucking cool. What also is pretty fucking cool, or scary as fuck about this, I don't know, you take your pick on how you want to look at it, but this library spirals down, right? And at the very bottom, apparently, is something so scary that Cassian went down there one time, came up like a fucking shooting star, and was so white. I mean, it was whiter than this. Like my white ass in December, okay? That's how pasty white he was. And when you talk about it, he almost fucking shits his pants. So, I don't know. Maybe it's my ex-wife. Maybe she found a home. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. So as they're in the library and learning that knowledge is truly power, they're like, hey, death gods. And this is where they come up with the idea, maybe we could ask the bone carver? Yeah, let's get the bone carver. What? I mean, when your back's against the wall, why not throw a hell fucking Mary and fucking release, an old god? Well, not even an old god, a death god. Yeah, we'll talk about it in the next chapter. Holy shit. Nesta's mental training, recruiting duty, return to the Hue City, and a dick swinging contest. Chapters 21 to 26, spoilers ahead. Okay, so we start out with Feyre walking in with Nesta, Wednesday Addams of group therapy, and Armin. Imagine Flavor Flav necklace on her, but instead of a clock, it's a sign that says do not disturb. And those two are staring at each other doing mental training. That's all I'm going to say about that chapter. Let's move on. So we wake up the next morning, right? Feyre and Cassian are going to see the bone carver. Now, this is supposed to be a recruiting mission to see what they could possibly bargain with the bone carver to maybe get him to join their side. And this is where we find out it turns into like a fucking episode of Maury Povich, because you know how the bone carver can shapeshift or whatever? Let's not forget this dude looks like the Ghost of Christmas Future, right? But he changes his image to see whatever, and he's showing Feyre the little boy, right? Well, that little boy just happens to be Rhysand's future son. Feyre, you are the mother. Like, what the fuck kind of mental game are we dealing with here? Oh, and then you want to throw on some more? Yeah, we find out not only is the bone carver a death god, he's related to the fucking Weaver, the chick in the woods? Yeah, and some other death god that is apparently somewhere else. And he's scared of them, so he decides to stay in prison. But he will come out if they manage to get him some mirror called the Aurora Borealis mirror, which we find out Kerr has. We find out in the next chapter that this mirror, it's literally like FaceTiming your deepest, darkest trauma. And anybody who's ever done it has either died or gone fucking insane. Sure, why not? So after the bone carver, they return and they're getting ready to go to the Hue City, right? So I believe it's Azrael has to stay back. So they all show up doing their big old grand fucking entrance, but there's only one throne. Rhys planned for that. He sits Feyre down in the throne and everybody's like, wait, what the fuck? They're kind of shocked. And he's like, bow, bitches. And everybody fucking bows. There's a couple people sitting here like they're debating gender roles in the fucking military, right? And Feyre's like, I have fought in fucking Hybern. I have fucking fake married almost Tamlin. Like, bitches, don't try me. Don't try. And they're like, okay, whatever. So everybody kind of chills out a little bit. And then Rhys hits up Kerr and is like, fucking war council, 10 minutes conference room, right? So they're sitting there and discussing. And Kerr's like, listen, I know you want my fucking Darkbringers. And I was like, all right, whatever. And he fucking jabs fucking Moore so deep. He's like, I want access to fucking Valaris. And Moore's like, motherfuckers. Oh, and to add fucking salt to the injury, who joins the fucking meeting? Eris, yeah, the red-headed wonder from the Autumn Court. Now, I will say this, I am starting to question Eris. Eris is starting to be like a Rhysand character for me because he's like, hey, talk to Lucian and what happened. Like, he's dropping hints that what he did was best for everybody. Like, the reason he knew Moore didn't want to meet with him, so he did that for her. I get it, it's fucked up. But again, if we're not going to fucking look at Rhys for shattering people's minds, I mean, you do so much to make it look like you don't want somebody, put her on the brink of death, make sure she's... I'm not saying that's what he did, but I'm just saying, maybe Eris isn't as bad as he's all cracked up to be. Just throwing it out there. I digress. So anyway, so the meeting goes, and Kerr's like, yeah, fine. I'll give you the fucking Deathbringers, but again, I want access. Moore's pissed. Eris is like, whatever, I'll see y'all bitches in 12 days, right? And that's where we end the chapter. So let's review. If we want to get the Death Carver on our team, we need the Ouroboros Mirror. If we want the Ouroboros Mirror, somebody's got to look into it, FaceTime their deepest, darkest traumas, and risk dying or going insane.
we've realized that Eris may be somewhat of a good guy and an ally. And if we want the Darkbringers on our side, we have to give them access to Valaris. This is a lot of shit to deal with, and I don't know if I would want to deal with that as Feyre. But honestly, if you gave me a choice between dealing with all of that bullshit and having to watch a season of the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I'd deal with the other bullshit.
More family drama, a lore drop, flying lessons, and a Nephilim philosophy? Chapters 27 through 29. Let's get into it. Okay, so they're down in the Hue City. The heirs just left. Kurz told him about the Ouroboros mirror and how it's going to get fucked up, right? Moore is pissed about this, and Reese is like, listen, I'm playing fucking 40 chest, and Moore's like, bitch, they're going to fuck up Valaris. And he's like, I'm sorry, I got to do what the fuck I got to do. What's up? I mean, like... Anyway, so they end up getting into the big old argument, and then everybody's like, listen, we just got to do it. So they end up leaving. They go back, and this is where we get the lure drop on fucking Death God Armin, who decided to just casually go through multiple dimensions. Like, she's a death god too, but then she got locked up in the prison. And the only way to escape is she had to trap herself in the Fae body. But my only question is where did she get the body from? Did she just morph into it to capture? Because it just says she was like this fucking death god, right? And then she just turned into a person and the door opened. So that's confusing. But, you know, I mean, she went from being a death god to doing puzzles and drinking blood. So, I mean, that's some growth, right? I mean, it's something. So after we get that lore drop, then they bring a healer in to look at Elaine, right? Well, the healer's like, listen, she's fine, but there's something in her head that the cauldron has put there, so maybe have Lucian talk. So Lucian leaves. It's like the most awkward 30 minutes of their fucking life. Everybody's waiting, and he goes to try to talk to her, and they're like, listen, just be kind. And he's all like, hello from the other side, like sending a message down the bond, right? Like he didn't even know, but he tugged at the bond. She kind of freaked out. But then she goes all off fucking I see dead people and ravens, and they're like, what the fuck? What the hell's going on? So they think she's just a fucking cuckoo luku, but, you know, we find out what's really up later. We'll get into that. After that, Feyre and Azriel, they're out in the woods, and Feyre is trying to learn to fly, right? I mean, really, she's like kind of up and into a tree and then falling practice, but she's getting it, so she jumps and she kind of moves and then kind of hits another tree, and then she jumps and misses the first tree and then bashes into the other tree because the slipstream's there, so she's just having a rough fucking day, and Az is like, listen, me and Kaz, we've got this Nephilim philosophy, right? And he tells the story of Miriam, and I can't remember the name, but the little fairy that had wings of feathers, but they were super small, and she couldn't fly in formation. But then all of a sudden, on the day of the fucking battle, when they were doing the Moses part in the sea, and they're trying to get the people out, and Miriam is down, this little thing that couldn't fucking fly, flies in, like, fucking picks her up and fucking escapes her. And they're like, listen, so now we train to the last possible fucking second, just because you don't know what's going to happen, you know? You might get strength, so we do what we can. So that's really cool how they have adopted that. And then it ends on a good night. I mean, Feyre is wore out. She's tired. She's beat up. She's bruised. Her sister's going fucking cuckoo. Lucian's... It's just, they don't know what to fucking do. There's death gods. So, hey, Reese gives her a good old night, and they go to sleep. Nesta's tour of the library. Another bargain. And a searing mistake. Chapters 30 through 32. Okay, let's get into it. So Feyre decides she's going to take Nesta into the library and see what they can do some research on. And once they get in there, they get a few rows down, and then all of a sudden they get chased by these two assassins. They're ravens from the king of Hybern, right? From his army. And they're there for fucking Nesta. And it turns into a fucking scene from like Mission Impossible. They're running. Like fucking, might as well be Forrest Gump. They was running. So they run all the way down. Feyre does some shoulder check to knock all the books down and kind of has them, and the assassins are still there somehow. So anyway, all of a sudden, like, fuck, we gonna do this. She's got like one knife on her, and all of a sudden she gets this little icy chill on her back, and I know it's the Braxis, but anyway, it's basically the nightmare death thing of whatever, and it's like, let me help you. And she's like, what do you want? And he's like, just send somebody down to talk to me. And she's like, fucking bet. That's it? Yeah, okay. Bargain made. And he's like, close your eyes. And then fucking comes up and just starts ixnaying on the two assassins, right? They're gone. And then right before they're gone, Cassian and Rhys, everybody shows up because Clothy hit like this silent alarm bell, and they got them there, and they get them out, and then Rhys does his thing with the people, you know, pretty nice, get some information, they find out all that good stuff, and then they're back in the townhome, and they're going over what happened, and then they kind of realize that Elaine is a seer. I don't know how they just realized that. I said that a few videos ago. If you go back and look, I'm like, she's a fucking seer. Why aren't they looking at the clues? But this is where they messed up. Because once they realized that, they should have went back to everything she said. Because she talked about the ravens, and they didn't go back and everything she said. Because, like, there's lines about, like, the fire, the Lord of Fire. You know, we learned... Lucien gets his ass off the sideline. War is here. Let's get into it. Chapters 33 through 38. I am wise. Let's get into it. So they just got saved by the Braxis from the two ravens. Rhys does his fucking torturing, learns out a bunch of stuff, right? Finds out that the king is doing this and that, and then all the other details that they need to find out. And they're like, all right, fuck. So they put everybody on a fucking lockdown really quick. And then they realize that Elaine is a seer, and they go through the things and like, the fucking, maybe the good queen is not dead, you know, blah, blah, blah. And Lucian's like, well, fuck it. I can't sit around here. Let me go find out. So they're all like, oh, shit, cool. So, Lucien, way to get back up in the top 10. I think you're like hovering around like 7 or 8 right now. 8 or 9. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. So, all of a sudden, Amren comes in and she's like, hey, the fucking king is attacking. And everybody's like, what do you mean? We don't see nothing. And she's like, no, the fucking Summer Court. And she's like, how you know? And what's his name? Like Valarin, Vivian, fucking the second in charge next to Tarquin. And Summer Court's like, fucking sent me a message. And they're like, fuck it, let's go. And let the battle begin. So fucking they go get everybody and they fucking swoop in there and they're fucking just big old fucking battle. The fucking king here and fucking Rhys is doing his shit and he's just fucking mind splaying dudes on the ground. And Feyre and more, they're coming into the fucking castle, right? So they go into the castle, and this is where Feyre excels, all right? And as I learned through this book, Feyre is good at her set of skills. She's not good at this set of skills, but she's learning. I will give her props. Her character growth is good. She's good at fighting battles like against the ACOTAR and stuff, so she does really well in this battle. So she comes in there, and I think they're like Moore's like, yeah, there's 50 people in here. Just make sure we check everything, double check, and just fucking fucking winnow slash, or as the audio graphic book is, my wife lets me listen to every once in a while. It's fart kill. Why and who approved that sound? Y'all need to think about that. But again, I digress. So anyway. So they get through the fucking war, right? And Rhys is on the fucking ship, but his powers are kind of dampened. So he goes on, and then he sees the fucking king, and the king comes out, but he's got no weapons on him and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's kind of weird, but whatever. I didn't think anything of it. And then they start having this fucking conversation. Rhys finally losing is like, and tries to throw like this big old fucking bolt through him or something. It's a fucking goddamn image, fake image, whatever, hologram, that's what it was, fucking hologram, okay? So, it's whatever, so they get Hybern out, and the fleet is there, and they come in, and they're all checking people out, and Rhys finds Feyre, and they're all good, and all of a sudden, the general that sent the word, Vinny or whatever his name is like, he's in there, and she's thinking it's supposed to be that, but then it's fucking Tarquin, and Tarquin's like, oh shit, you showed up. Why did you show up? And they're like, hey, we're just here for you, guy. And he's like, rrr. So he's still mad and got the blood rubies on him, right? But he's like, okay, these were the only motherfuckers that came to help me. So he kind of lets it go. And Feyre's like, listen, we're here if you need us. We'll be here. Rhys, him have some more conversation. And yeah, he's like, hey, Feyre's offer stands. We'll be here till the morning. And there we go. The Adventures of Crack. A Court of Wings and Ruins. We're back, and I keep calling this book Crack because this is where my videos are, and this is where I actually am. I gotta catch up. So, A Court of Wings and Ruins, chapters 39 to 42. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, so the war or the battle is done. They've decided they're going to move the meeting up from like 12 days to a few days. In 3 days, you're going to have the meeting with all the fucking High Lords, right? They just saved Tarquin. So Feyre and Rhys fucking went out all, and they're fucking out. Like, seriously, they need to change that sound in the audiobooks. Like, send me the file, send me a new file, or let me do it. I will make a good window sound. Pay me $100, okay? I'll do it. Just give me the master. That is so stupid. Anyway, I digress. So, they fucking leave, and she's like, hey, take me to the prison. And he's like, what? Whatever, okay. So, they go to the prison, and she's fucking walks up to the bone carver. No, hang on. Yeah, no. Maybe I'm out of order. God, I don't remember. See, this is why I have to keep back up. Okay, so anyway, they go to the bone carver, and she's like, dude, what else do you want to be on our team besides the mirror? And he's like, I just want the fucking mirror. And what about this guy? And Rhys is just all sitting on the threshold, just listening, you know, blah, 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 blah. So they're sitting there, and he's like, listen, if you want me to fucking work for you, I want the fucking Ouroboros mirror, period, end of story. That's just it. All right, cool. So they fucking leave. And they go back to the Night Court, and they go to the townhouse, and they're both fucking starving, right? And they walk into the kitchen, and this is where they see Elaine and Serwyn and Narula, and they're making fucking bread. And she's happy, and fucking, they're just like, dude, let's bounce. Let's let her be happy. So they fucking go upstairs, and they have some more intimacy, and they're showing how strong the bond is, and everything's great, and it's fucking dandy. Okay. And then it's coming up for the meeting, right? So they're prepping for the meeting, got their beautiful gowns, they're going to the fucking summer court, and he takes her upstairs and shows her all these fucking crowns. And he's like, what the hell? She's like, I can do whatever I want with this. And he's like, dude, you can melt it all down, like minus 1 or 2 pieces. Otherwise, you pick what you want. So she picks the perfect fucking crown to go on her head, and they're getting ready to go. And right before they leave, he looks at her and he says, remember, you bow to no one, okay? So it's getting really good. The meeting is coming up. Meeting of the High. Sorry about the sound. They're building houses around here. Anyway, let's get to it. 43 to 48. So we're finally at the meeting of the High Lords, right? Now this meeting is off the fucking change. There's bets on how long it takes until a fight breaks out, okay? That's how fucking crazy this is. So everybody gets there at no specific time, and they're all getting ready to start talk, but one person doesn't show up. And who is that? That's fucking Tampon Tamlin, okay? Douche canoe extraordinaire. And as soon as they start talking, who shows up? Ah, it is him, douche canoe extraordinaire, Tamlin, ha ha ha. This motherfucker comes in here running his mouth, just doesn't even acknowledge Feyre or Rhys, just sits down and is like, listen, these motherfuckers, he's just trying to trick you and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And everybody's like, shut the fuck up, that's not what happened, that's not what happened. Now, I will say, I wish they would have fucking gave more their side of the story, but they were like, that's not what it was, that's not what it was. Anyway, Tamlin keeps doing this, and Rhys goes, shush! This is what you're doing, and this is what I want you to do. That's what Rhys does. And Tamlin's like, and he just kind of fucking shuts up. And then they move on. And then fucking Aerys and Bayron are fucking sitting there running their fucking mouth. And the whole time that Feyre is just like, she's looking at Aerys, and she's looking at Bayron. And then she's looking at Helion, and then she's looking at Aerys, and then she's looking at Bayron, and then she's looking at Bayron's wife, and she's like, wait a fucking minute, and then she thinks solution, and then she's about to fucking just say it, and then Rhys is like, whatever you discovered, keep that shit to yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, Lucian's not Bayron's kid. But that makes sense. We like that. That's why Aerys didn't fucking kill him when they did it, because he's not a threat to the throne. Aerys knew. Bayron does it. Mom, I understand why. We got the whole backstory later on. But anyway, I digress. So, that happens. And then fucking Aerys starts running his fucking mouth again about more on the whole shit. And that just pisses fucking Az off. And Az fucking loses and goes fucking straight knee to the fucking chest. About to fucking, they're like, hey, everybody calm down, calm down. They back off. Fucking Moor's in her chair crying. Fucking Az is like, it's fucking wild. Anyway, so they start fucking calming down. And then Bayron starts fucking running her mouth. And all of a sudden, Feyre's like, I can't handle this shit no more. It's like, fucking big old flash of light. And Bayron pulls up his shield and fucking, oh, shit. And everybody's like, fuck it, we're out of this meeting. We out. Fuck this shit. You want to tag me? Fuck you. It's just crazy shit, right? So they fucking leave. And then Feyre's like, oh my God, I fucked up the meeting. Oh my God. And that's when Rhys is like, nah, actually, you did pretty good. So everybody fucking leaves. They go down and they chill for the night. Moore ends up fucking you know what, with Helion. So everybody's like, so everybody kind of goes their own ways, and they come back the next fucking day, and they're all sitting in this pang, and it's a cool reflection pool, and they're sitting here talking strategies, and Tamlin shows back up, and he's like, here, and he drops off all the fucking information about caches and weapons. So it looks like Tamlin might be an okay. Listen, me and Tamlin, like, fight this dude, right? So I don't know if I trust him, but fuck you, Tamlin. Anyway, he shows all this stuff, and then shit happens, and all of a sudden Nesta's like, and she's like, and she fucking just vomits all over this fucking magical pool, and everybody's like, whoa, what the fuck? And she's on the ground, and all of a sudden they're like, the wall is destroyed. Fucking the king of Hybern, he came up quick and early, destroyed the fucking wall. Ladies and gentlemen, the shit is about to hit the fan. Awkward, yet practical solution, and Feyre's on Let's Make a Deal. Chapters 49 and 50. Let's get into it. So, after the wall being down, Elaine comes up with this great idea. Hey, let's go see my ex. Because that always turns out well, right? And when we contact our exes, oh my god, what the fuck. But I digress. You never know. As they're prepping for that, Feyre's like, Armin, let's go see that thing in the basement. She means like the Bryaxis, and she's like, yeah, you know, the thing that death has nightmares of, you know. What the fuck? So Feyre's like, hey, dude, let's talk. And he's like, bitch, did you summon me? And she's like, yeah, look, let's make a deal. And he's like, okay, what's up? And she's like, what would it take for you to fight with me in this impending war? And he's like, well, believe it or not, I like it here, so how about a room with a view? And she's like, wait, you just, what? And he's like, yeah, I just want to see the stars and the moon and all that. And she's like, all you want's a fucking skylight? What if I, and then fucking Armin's like, bitch, shut up, we'll put in a skylight, that's all you want, you'll put in a skylight and you'll fight for us. And he's like, yeah, bet, let's do it. Wow. The Braxis is on their side. Holy shit. Meeting with the 51 to 54. Let's get into it. As I said, meeting with the ex. So they show up to the Grayson Castle, right? This fortress that Elaine wanted to marry into. Dude goes riding up, they're like, hey, we're here, and riding up in a horse, and flag goes up in the air, and they're like, all right, they'll come to meet you, and then they fucking ride back on out, and it's Lord Grayson and his son, and they start giving the whole spiel, and the dude's looking at you, and he's like, yeah, but you're lying to me. And they're like, what the fuck, what do you mean, we're being honest? Like, nah, how about the part where her and him got put in the cauldron and all this other bullshit? And they're like, wait, how did you know that? And fucking Jurian, Jelloin, whatever the fuck his gelatin, whatever the fuck his name is, Jurian, he goes, because I fucking told him. And they're like, what? Fucking Jurian. And he's like, yeah. And they're like, why would you do that? He's like, well, because I'm trying to fucking help. And they're like, wait, what? For real? So he's like, dude, he lets down his fucking mind. Rhysand goes in there, and sure as shit, Urian's a fucking good guy. He didn't go mad when he was just the little eyeball on the ring, and he's... Wow. Gives some fucking information up. Fucking Kaz bounces out to go tell Azriel about, hey, they're going to go attack the fucking Summer Court. When they do attack this certain fucking spot, it's the Young Bucks. And they're like, what the fuck? So anyway... That's how that goes. Like, they agree to take the people in and like, maybe not fight in the war, but they'll just, like, you know, take the people in and be safe. And I think at one point, fucking Elaine slapped it. I don't even fucking remember. It was wild after Urian came in, so I'm just mind blown. Like, shit is picking up. We're already starting to have twists in this shit. Urian's better than fucking Tamlin. I'm just saying. Fae battles are fucking 55, 56. Let's just fucking get into it. Spoilers, all the bullshits. Okay. So we find out Urian is a good guy. Yeah, no shit. Fucking Urian's a good guy. He gives them information so where King of Hybern is going to attack and where they should attack. So they show up and they do just fucking that. And everything is working the way the armies are fucking flying down the battle. It's just this beautiful fucking symphony. And then the coup de grace on top of this, the fucking sprinkles, the whipped cream, the cherry on top, is the way they describe Cassian. Like, this dude is a one-man wrecking army. We see why he's a fucking legend. If this ever becomes a movie or a TV show, the way they do this fight scene could literally be one of the greatest fight scenes in history. The way the movements are described, it is a mix of just fucking dance, masterful magic, just mwah, chef's kiss. Anyway, war ends, they're healing up. Feyre's like, Reese, I don't know if I can fight these kind of wars. And he's like, don't worry, boo, I got you. We'll figure it out. It doesn't matter. If you decide you want to fight like that, you can. Anyway, so the next day they come on, get some intel, they come up with a plan. Let's hide our army, but move the army, but hide the army. We're going to be here, but not be here. This is crazy weird bullshit, right? So they end up doing that, and when they come out of this, the king of fucking Hybern is kind of waiting for them, right? And they're like, oh shit, so they're attacking, and they're trying to do this again, but where Cassian is fighting, right, there's a fucking hole in the line, and Moore is watching with Feyre from the hill, and like, hey, fucking Moore's like, fucking fill the gap. And this is where Feyre makes a decision here. I don't know what, but somehow she's like, in the middle of a war, I want to go talk to the surreal. What the fuck? That was uncalled for. Chapters 57 to 61. Let's get into this shit. What the fuck was that all about? Okay. Anyway, okay, that one hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So Feyre decides she wants to go see the surreal during a fucking battle, right? So as there's a hole in the line, she basically tells Moore, hey, go fucking help him. You're doing nothing up here. And she's like, no, fucking Reese will kill me. She's like, seriously, I can handle it myself. Go. Moore's like, fuck it. So she goes, and as soon as she gets down there and starts to fucking help out, because Cassian is getting overrun here, right? She's like, hey, come here, little sis. Hey, I need you to tell me, see, this is the surreal, and she puts the image into her mind, right? And she's like, tell me where he's at. And she's like, I can't. She's like, you fucking can. So she does, and she's like, oh, he's right there, he's moving. She's like, thanks, bet. She fucking winnows to the center, right? You know who's in the center? The Weaver's there, right? So she goes there, and she fucking finds the surreal, and she sees her wearing this old tattered cape, and she's like, hey, stop, buddy. And the surreal's, and it's fucking all glory is like, hey, what's up, girl? And they have this conversation. Oh. I don't want to say it. But as they're having a conversation and the surreal is like, hey, do this, do that, do this or that, telling her the information, who the fuck shows up? That fucking bitch I swear to fucking God. Anyway, Anthe puts fucking ash arrows into the surreal, and she's with her two guards. And Feyre's like, fuck. The surreal's like, run. Just fucking run. So Feyre fucking runs. And as she's fucking running, they fucking follow her. And Feyre's like, oh shit, I know where we're at. It's the fucking Weaver's house. So she jumps into the fucking Weaver's cottage through the front door, right? And she's fucking holding the door open. She's like, fucking feet planted. And she's like, ah. And fucking Ianthe, being a dumb bitch that she is, she doesn't know. And she's like, oh, Feyre, you just killed all those people in the cabin. And they fucking walk in there. And when she does that, Feyre's like, yeet. She fucking slides out the fucking front door. Door slams shut. She takes off fucking running. And you just hear fucking screaming. Just, rah! Death screaming, fuck you, Ianthe, you stupid. I'm not saying the word because this is on the goddamn internet, but it starts with the see you next Tuesday. Anyway, I digress. Sorry. She gets back to the surreal, and the surreal is fucking dying, and she's just like, fucking shit, and has a moment with the surreal where the surreal is like, listen, you were cool to me. Like, yeah, you tried me the first time, but I get it. But you gave me a cape, and you were a friend to me. And she's like, what's your name? And she's like, well, I just have a title, but that's not important. And the surreal is fucking dying, and it's very sad. Bullshit. Anyway, Helion shows up, and he's like, come on, we gotta go. And she's like, how the fuck did Helion know I was here? So anyway, she's like, all right, hang on, motherfucker. She's like, give me your beautiful ass cape. So she takes off Helion's royal fucking cape, and she puts it on top of the fucking surreal, and the surreal passes away, and then Helion's like, I got this, and just fucking quick flame and just roasts the cereal, and it turns up to ash, and they fucking winnow her out of there. Fuck, why did you have to kill one of my fucking favorite characters? Fuck off, I'm not happy right now. The consequences and repercussions. This whole fucking video is going to be their consequences and repercussions. 61 to 64. Let's get into it. Okay, so Helion just saved Feyre after she killed Ianthe, who used a tracking spell on a cloak she gave to the Surreal, right? So that's how it happened. Helion found her and fucking went on them out. Then she gets back to the camp, and Reese is like, hey, where you been there, sugar tits? And she's like, well, you know, I wanted to go do some shit. And he's like, cool, hey, listen, you are my high lady. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. I get it, especially if it's going to help, but maybe leave a fucking note, you know, people do care about you. And she's like, yeah, I got it. And fucking more blows the fuck up on her. Everybody's fucking pissed, but there's more pressing things to worry about now. And that's the fact that Cassian decided to block a sword with his fucking guts, right? So he's on the fucking ground. The healer's fucking magical stitching him up, and fucking Nesta's like, you fucking die, I'm gonna whoop your ass, bitch. You know, doing her Nesta thing, and this fucking, so he gets healed up. And then they decide, Armin shows up and is like, hey, we got to use the fucking stones and bones, right? And they're like, what you talking about? And they're like, fucking bring Nesta up in here. And they lay the map down, and she fucking puts the bones and stones in her finger. It's like 2 stones and 3 bones. And she's fucking holding. She can. She's fucking looking for the cauldron. And she ends up fucking like metamorphosizing into another realm, and fucking Feyre ends up going there fucking with her, and they fucking see King Hybern's fucking army, and it's this fucking huge, massive fucking army, and they're going there, and they see the fucking cauldron, and the fucking cauldron notices, and she fucking drops the fucking bones, right? And they're like, oh shit, and they're like, oh shit, the cauldron knew, and they're like, okay, well, we know where they're fucking at, alright. And then all of a sudden, everybody kind of chills out for the night, and everybody's going through their shit, and they're like, all right, we'll figure out what's up. And then all of a sudden, they hear a big fucking scream, and they're like, wait, what the fuck? And fucking Elaine is gone. The cauldron came and took fucking Elaine. And now the plan is, let's have fucking Feyre walk into the fucking camp and go rescue her. That's our plan. She's gonna walk in and go rescue her. Fuck. The re-kidnapping of Elaine and the history of Morinaz. Chapter 65, 66. Let's get into it. Okay, so their big idea to recapture Elaine after the cauldron stole her in the middle of the night is for Feyre to walk right the fuck in. There we go. So she's going to cosplay as that little bitch, Ianthe, you know, the dead whore. Fuck, I hate that woman. Anyway, I digress. So she takes Cassian's blue siphon, puts it on her head, they make a crown, they do a glam, give her some robes, and Az goes with her, and they kind of winnow into the camp close, and then she just starts walking up, right? Well, Az turns into her fucking shadow. That's fucking, like, literally, it's pretty cool, like, it's pretty legit. So they're walking through the camp, nobody realizes, and they see all the fucking army fucking up children of the blessed, right? And they're like, fuck, we gotta save that chick too. Okay, back to Elaine. So as they're looking for fucking Elaine, all of a sudden fucking Urian shows up, and Urian's like, hey, wait, you're not fucking, hey, what are you doing, Feyre? And she's like, shh. And he's like, listen, you're into me right now, because Ianthe, you know, the whore, is all up in me trying to get some of my good juices and stuff, you know what I mean? Because that's what she does. So anyway, he's like, hey, just go over here, blah, 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 blah. I'll release the chick, meet you at the corner, Elaine's over there, fucking hurry up and get out of here, right? Blah, blah, blah. So, once again, Urian being a fucking good guy is mind-blowing. Tamlin bad, fucking... Anyway, I digress. So, as they're doing this, and they get Elaine, and they're trying to run, and all of a sudden, alarms go off, and blah, 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 siren, and sounds, and fucking... The king is like, what the fuck's going on? Because the cauldron kind of knows. He's like, I'm going to go get him. And he releases, they have not regular Nagas, like we heard earlier, you know, the serpent people, but these are Naga dogs. A Naga dog. Okay, cool. Man, I got to be careful when you say that, right? Ooh, I hate saying that word. Anyway, so they fucking come down, and they're all chasing, Az is getting fucked up, and he's fucking injured in his back now. I think Feyre takes an arrow to her fucking back too, and she's like, I gotta fucking fly. And Tamlin comes out of the middle of nowhere. Tamlin is trying so hard for a redemption arc, but I'm sorry, I don't think there is a redemption arc for you, Tamlin. I give you props for trying, but I think you're fucked still. Anyway, I digress. Tamlin's fighting off the Naga dogs so she can get away. So Feyre finally runs and hurts. I mean, she's got fucking, I think it was an arrow in her back, okay? And Az has got ripped up wings like a little bit. It's pretty fucked up. So anyway, so they finally make it out of there, and they get to the fucking camp, and everybody's so happy to see him, and they take Az to go get healed, and everybody's so happy, and Elaine's back, and yada, 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 and it's all peace. And this is when Mor comes up, and then Mor is like, we having this talk, Feyre. You, me, right now, let's do it. So they're sitting there having a talk, and she's like, listen, I'm sorry for what I said. And Feyre's like, no, I'm sorry for what I said. And she's like, and Mor's like, yeah, but you're right. And she gave the whole story. So basically, Mor is a lesbian. Mor likes women. Cool, Mor. Whatever makes you happy. But she doesn't mind sleeping with men, too. So maybe she's bisexual, but she really likes women. So I don't know. I'm kind of confused. We just know that the person Mor loved is no longer alive. And so she knows that if she sleeps with Az, it'll mean more to Az than it will to her, and it'll be even worse. So that's why she's not doing it. It's a kind of fucked up situation, but I understand it. But this is a conversation she needs to have with Az. Just say, Az, listen, buddy, I fucking love you. You're like my brother, but I don't love you like that. And it's going to fucking hurt him, but he'll get over it. Trust me, he's a fucking shadow stalker. But I digress. Armin's plan and Feyre and Rhys's gift to each other. Chapters 67 through 60 fucking 9. Let's go. Okay. So last chapter ends off. We find out Mor's history. Fucking Amren shows up and is like, hey, bitches, I got a fucking idea. And she's like, hey, remember when you almost touched the cauldron and you died? Hey, we're going to pull the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy, and we're just like when they touch the Infinity Stones, and we're all going to fucking, we're going to people and we're going to touch, and it's going to be fucking great. Okay, so that's Armin's plan, and everybody's like, okay, cool, that's what we're going to do. And then Feyre's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Let's do it. And she fucking goes to the Night Court. Okay? And she goes in to face the fucking Ouroboros Mirror. I wish they would have wrote a little bit more about this. They did it kind of quick, but Feyre faces the fucking mirror. And basically, it is her worst. It is every bad thing about her. So it's basically like what I think of myself on a daily basis, like, but you got to look at it, right? So every bad thing she's ever done, if you can face it, you're good. So she fucking realized, she accepted who she was, the good and the bad. She defeats the fucking mirror. Long story short, she takes the fucking mirror, she bounces her ass over to the fucking prison. She fucking walks up the stairs, walks down to the bone carver. The carver says, hello, little miss. And she's like, what's up, my son? Yeah. And he's like, wait, no escort? She's like, I don't need no fucking escort. And he's like, oh, well, did you get the mirror? And she goes, poof. And he goes, holy shit, how did you get it? She said, bitch, because she didn't say my friend, but we all know. Because our friend, the surreal, said, you can control what breaks you. You can control. And that's fucking real life fucking facts for everybody. Fucking suck that up. Alright, and then she returns, and then they're all sitting there talking about the next fucking day, right? And Rhys comes up and gives this big fucking speech, and everybody's all fucking motivated. And then she's like, hey, Feyre's like, hey, I got a present for you. And she's like, what? And all of a sudden, fucking Braxis fucking shows up. He's like, what up, everybody? And then what shows up? The fucking Carver fucking shows up. And he's like, wait, what? Feyre's got this new tattoo down her back, right? It's the faces of the moon. And she's like, ooh, it's a little present for both of us. And then Rhys is like, well, since you did that, here, let me show you. And he lifts up his fucking sleeve obble, and he's got a fucking band. And what shows up? The fucking Weaver shows up. Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen, they have formed the fucking dream team of death gods. What? The Weaver, the Carver, and the Braxis. Ladies and gentlemen, this battle is about to be fucking lit. Let's go. This was supposed to be fairy smut, not Game of Thrones meets Endgame with the sprinkle of attachment and emotional damage. Chapters 70 to 77. I'm going to need a minute. Much better. Okay. 77, or 70 to 77, the battle of what the fuck just happened. So let's get into it. The four maidens, Armin, Feyre, Nesta, and Elaine, their plan is to go touch the cauldron like Guardians of the Galaxy, while Amren does the spell and fucking destroys it, right? After a distraction comes. So, here we go. The three death gods fucking go in, and they're starting to fucking kill everybody, and it goes shit. Fucking Cassian comes in, and they start fucking wiping everybody out. And then, I don't remember the order. There's so much shit that happens, so forgive me. But then all of a sudden, they start to lose a little bit. But then here comes fucking, Bayron, Eris, and fucking Tamlin to join the fight. So they come in and join the fight. We got Rhys Mist and Brains over here, and this over here. And all of a sudden, a fucking sailboat army fucking comes in with the fucking king, and they start taking shit on that side, and bam, 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 and they're getting fucking beat up on those fucking sides. And then all of a sudden, what do we see? Another group of fucking ships. Some dude on three with three fucking ships. The name of the ships, the Feyre, the Nesta, and the Elaine. It's their fucking deadbeat dad. This motherfucker shows up with the army, and who does he got? He's got fucking Draken, and he's got fucking Miriam. The winged behold. They're all coming in. There's some conversation and shit happens, but we're not going to talk about that because goddamn, this fucking shit is crazy. So anyway, so they come in, and now they're starting to fucking win the fight, and there's enough distraction now that the four maid ones are fucking running, right? They're traveling through the battlefield, and all of a sudden, they just fucking feel it, and the King of Hybern's like, fuck this shit gun, you know? I got a cauldron, I'm gonna make a plasma railgun, and he turns this fucking cauldron around and just and it's fucking charging like the goddamn Death Star, right? And then fucking shoots this fucking beam out, right? And right before the fucking beam goes out, fucking Nesta screams, Cassie! Like fucking top of her lungs, and this motherfucker looks over, he's like, what's up, babe? And he fucking flies over, he's like, what's up? Fucking fucking half the Illyrian army or some shit is just fucking turned to ashes. Fucking Thanos snapped, and he's like, oh shit, you just saved me. And she's like, I can't fucking do this, I can't fucking do this. And the girls are like, fuck it, okay. And Armin's like, maybe we don't fucking need him. Cassian fucking goes back in the battle, and fucking boom, another fucking goddamn death ray, right? Comes out, more fucking people are just fucking waxing. It's like, oh shit, we gotta go. So they're fucking going. And fucking Az, who's injured, is supposed to be in the back line. He's like, nah, fuck it. He's jumped in and fucking from just sitting in the back. So everybody's in this fucking battle. Mor's going, the death gods are going. Oh, the bone carver took the fucking death ray to the face. Okay, so we have lost the fucking bone carver. He's done. That's why he wanted to know if she was fucking worthy, right? So anyway, back to it. So as they're fucking getting close, they find out where it is. And Nessa's got this fucking idea. She's like, hey, I'm going to be a fucking distraction. So she's like, Cassian, let's go with me. So they fucking go the other way. And then the king's like, oh, he senses her. So they fucking, as Nesta, or not Nesta, but as Feyre and Armin, they're climbing up this fucking backside. The king fucking walks by him, right? Doesn't fucking sense him because he's going to fight fucking Nesta and fucking Cassian because he wants the piece that fucking Nesta stole from the fucking cauldron, right? Oh my fucking god, I gotta take a breath. Okay, so then the king is coming up to Nesta. And everybody's like, oh shit, what the fuck's happened? Like, the armies are fucking losing. The king is fucking taking over. Nesta's about to get fucked up. And Armin's like, fucking, touch the fucking cauldron. So she touches the fucking cauldron. The Nesta, or fucking Feyre's like, argh, and she starts going. And Armin fucking betrays her. She's like, I'm sorry, Elaine, you fuck you, Armin. Oh my god, I never felt so betrayed before in my life. And then all of a sudden, the cauldron takes Feyre like on this fucking tour of the battlefield, right? So she sees all the fucking death and destruction, and she goes over to fucking and she's seeing Nesta and the fucking king, and they're just sitting there, right? And it's like, oh fucking shit, oh fucking shit. And the king, they're fucking Cassian's trying to fight fucking side. It's fucking wild. And then the king's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And right before he comes up, you're like, oh shit. Like Cassian and fucking Nesta's on the ground, and Cassian is on top protecting. He's like, fuck it, we're going out together, right? Like God, they have to be fucking mated. If not, they've got a crazy connection. But anyway, so they're fucking sitting down, and the king's about to fucking come right over, and all of a sudden, fucking right through his fucking throat. Who is it? But fucking Elaine! Elaine fucking knife through the throat. Nesta sees this shit, comes up, and is like, ah, shit, fucking takes it, fucking twists it down, fucking cuts his goddamn head off. Fucking lifts his fucking head up like, ah! It was fucking beautiful. And then all of a sudden, the cauldron fucking whips him back over. And Armin's like, bitch, where the fuck have you been? And she's like, I just fucking saw him. And Armin goes, I fucking got it. I got it, don't worry. Armin jumps in the fucking cauldron. What? Says the fucking spell, unbinds herself, rises out of the cauldron like a fucking phoenix, like comes up, and she looks down at Feyre and she's like, I got you, girl. And fucking just fucking starts annihilating fucking everybody. Fucking battle done. But as Armin's flying out to the fucking water, she fades away. Dad's gone. Dad died. Armin's fucking gone. Cassie. It's so fucked up right now. But the cauldron, when Armin fucking comes out, it fucking explodes, right? And now this has created a fucking void. And the void is just taken over. We're talking like the nothing from the never-ending story, right? Just fucking blackness taking the fuck over. The only thing to do is we gotta put it back together. How do we put it fucking back together? Feyre's gonna fucking do that. So anyway, she fucking goes, fucking Reese is there, Feyre's there, she fucking grabs a cauldron and Reese is holding on to her, and they're fucking in the mine, and Reese has got these massive walls up, and Feyre's like, what the fuck? But Feyre's grabbing onto the cauldron, and Reese is holding on to her, and all the fucking love and magic is going, and she starts chanting the fucking spell, and fucking boom, the fucking cauldron goes, and then it fucking more magic and more power, and you can feel Reese back here fucking, the fucking cauldron goes, and then in fucking fade to black. Yep. Reese gave Feyre every bit of magic and love that he had for her to put the cauldron together. Because remember, she could have broke it before, but she would have had to sacrifice herself. Reese saw this. And Reese sacrificed himself to give her enough power so that she didn't fucking die. So he's a dead on the ground. I am fucking like, you just killed Jack's fucking what just fucking happened? She fucking Feyre's like, no, what's happened? I'm like, just throw the fucker in the cauldron. But apparently that won't fucking work. I don't know. The king's fucking gone. I'm like, what's happening? And Feyre's like, fucking give him your fucking powers. And like, it won't, just fucking do it. So fucking Tarquin, I believe it was Tarquin first. He's like, for what he did. And then all the fucking lords drop it. And then fucking she fucking drops hers from the Night Court because she's part of the Night Court, right? And then she's like, it's not fucking working. And she's like, oh shit, who hasn't? Yep. All right, Tamlin, what you gonna do? Respect, Tamlin. Respect. You might have redeemed yourself. But Tamlin says, Feyre, I just want you to be happy. Because she's like, I'll give you anything, any fucking thing. And he literally says, just be happy, Feyre. And he drops his fucking... And as he drops it, like he comes back to life, and she's like, oh fucking, she's like, oh shit. So he's breathing, and then he turns over and he's like, hey, when I was down there, it was really dark, and then I saw a voice, so maybe y'all want to get Armin out of the cauldron. And they fucking tipped the cauldron and fucking Armin's there. Armin and him found a bond, and he was like, hey, you want to fucking stay and be happy with us? And she's like, yeah, I don't want to be a fucking ever after perfect being. I want to be fucking Armin, and gave up her fucking immortality of like super immortality to take Fey immortality. I wanted fairy smut, and I got emotional damage. What a good book. Treaties and goodbyes. Chapter 78 to the end. I think it's like 80 something. So anyway, the war is over. Everybody is saved, and wow. We're just not going to get into that because I am not ready to unpackage that emotional damage yet again. I'll do that on my next read. Okay, so Feyre, Nesta, and Elaine, they go bury their father. Yay! Dad turned out to not be a complete dirtbag after all. He actually did something. They tell the stories of how he was a great negotiator and worked everybody up. And 3 ships named after his daughter. So good job, Dad. Way to come back in it in the end. And then they spend a few days talking and blah, blah, blah. So they end up using the house. I couldn't think of the damn word. The cottage, manor, whatever you want to say. That Elaine and them used to live in, Nesta and Elaine and their dad, and they have everybody there, and they're trying to work on a new treaty, and this and that, and this and that, and new bounds are drawn, and this and that, and basically it's like the High Lord meeting 2.0. Some things happen, some things don't happen. Urian and those people still have their squabble to settle. They still got to deal with the fucking Vesa, the queen, and her curse, and maybe have to deal with Koshi, I think that's his name, because that's the Weaver and the Bone Carver's older brother, so we got to deal with that bullshit. I don't know. That was a good fucking book. Yeah, I guess I now go read the Christmas special. See what that's like.